weeks again, but you know what? I'm gonna because it's a little lightly attended tonight. I'm gonna continue to hold this upcoming 28th meeting, and just please bear with me, or just um, work with me here. I'm gonna still meet in 2 weeks on Monday. If you can make it, great. If you can't, don't worry. We'll try to share the recording out here tonight, and also the agenda. I didn't have a chance to send the agenda. Obviously, I've been kind of out of touch for the last 3 days. Didn't have a chance to send the agenda earlier, so I'll send the agenda with the recording from tonight, and folks can hopefully also view that at their leisure. But that's just kind of the upcoming meeting schedule for us. Let me get the agenda shared, though, at least, so people can see it. And what screen am I on here? Where am I? So can everyone see that there? Good. All right, I'm gonna move this. This is in my way here. All right. So thanks everyone for jumping into the youth services meeting today. I know it's I don't think, again, we're going to see a lot of the Maui clubs here present today, but would be interested at the end of the meeting here to see if Naomi or Ted know if there's any way we can help with youth on Maui at some point here in the near future through the work of the Youth Services Committee. But we can get to that in a little bit. Just covering some of the administrative things here on the agenda. Again, I'm going to kind of keep harping on this, but please continue to update your Interact advisors on the Rotary International webpage. If you haven't done that yet, please do that for this Rotary year. I think several of you and many of you know that if you don't keep the Interact Club current in Rotary International's database, your club can be suspended or even terminated. And we're actually working through reactivating certain clubs right now that have been active but have not done this update through the Rotary International website. Hey, Dick, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I tried going through the district website, bring down the list and so forth. And it wouldn't let me get in to change two of my club's advisor. You just stonewall, nothing changed at all.
This is on This is on the district's website, or is this on the, okay, so
district website.
You need to change it via the Rotary International website.
Yep. Will do.
Yeah, so that spreadsheet that I've sent out that you see the clubs listed with your advisors there, that's all populated because folks put that information onto the Rotary International website. So Naomi, I hopefully can throw that into the chat there. But to avoid your club being suspended or terminated, please report your advisors there. There are, so I think people sometimes have a question on what to put in the advisor section. It can be your DOE advisor if you so choose, but they are going to be the ones that get Rotary International's emails. So what I find is that it's usually best to keep your Rotary Club members, who is the advisor to your Interact Club, as the advisor. So not the DOE advisor, your club's advisor. So that way, so for me, I help to oversee the Mid-Pacific and the Roosevelt Interact clubs, and I get the Interact emails. The DOE employee doesn't get the Interact emails from Rotary International. So that's just something to think about when you're filling out the advisor information there. All right, so that's my quick update on that. I want to move on to the youth protection training recap. So thanks to everyone. I heard it was well attended on Saturday, 27 clubs out of the 50, so just over half. But I know, again, almost all of the Maui clubs basically said they couldn't make it. Totally understandable. We get it. So I'm sure, Naomi, was it recorded, and is the plan to share the recording and folks certify that they've watched the recording, or are we going to hold a makeup session probably not, right? We'll just have the recording.
Yep.
Yep. So I know, it's best to just get it over with and done with, but obviously everyone's schedule doesn't always align. When we have that ready to go, we will share the link to the recording of the youth protection training. And there is a certification statement that needs to be signed, a club compliance statement that does need to be signed. It was attached to the original email. I've kind of got it shared here on my screen, but it does have to be filled out by your club's president as well as a youth services chairperson. And please do this as you have watched and finished watching the actual training that occurred, that was recorded. It's kind of on the honor system here, I know, but please watch the recording and then sign it and fill this out and send this back into right here at ypo@rotaryd5000.org. So did anyone here did their clubs not make the training this Saturday? My club might not have, because I was supposed to do it. I think. Anyone else? Okay, so if you didn't make it, look for that email with the link to the recording, and I'll reattach this certification statement. And that email will also go out to all the clubs that weren't able to attend as well. So that's the youth protection training update there. In terms of the short-term exchanges here with sister clubs, I know Naomi wanted to share this, and I think some of you do have sister clubs that you do short-term exchanges with. I know there have been some changes in policies and procedures there. That was all discussed at the training, right, Naomi, on Saturday. So, and I believe a spreadsheet or PowerPoint was also shared with all of you. Some good information there. So just know that there have been some policy changes there with Rotary International on these short-term exchanges. If you do any kind of short-term exchange with a sister club, make sure that you're up to date with those requirements as well. Naomi, anything you want to add to the youth protection training?
There were a lot of questions on when to do a background check. So Peter did kind of go through that. And so hopefully it's common sense, if you're alone with the kid, you should be having a background check, if they're staying overnight, but you should always not have just one adult, just always remember to have two adults. So for the short-term sister club things, it could be with any club, not necessarily sister club, but we need to follow the same kind of rules as youth exchange, which means the background checks for the host families and checking out the host family accommodations and having a counselor going through training and all that stuff.
Right. All right, appreciate it. Youth exchange, I don't know if there's a ton of, Tom wasn't able to make it, I think, this meeting. I don't know if there's a ton of updates. I know they were looking for some host families though, right? And I don't know if there still are. It seems like there still are looking for host families. So if anybody is interested in doing a youth exchange or supporting youth exchange this year, please let me know or let Tom Gross know, the youth exchange coordinator for the district. I know they're still looking for some host families to be able to send some outbound students. We need to be able to host inbound students. So I think he's still looking for, I don't know how many, but a few. Updates on our upcoming kind of programs and policies. I'll get to some of the other ones. There's some really important things upcoming here that I really need to update you all on, but I'll just talk a little bit about Volunteer Month again. I haven't had a chance to send you all the requests formally, but I mentioned this at the last meeting. I do want everyone who did participate in Volunteer Month last year, which was basically our Rotarians at Work Day April project, to let me know and report back to me what your club did and how many volunteers participated, and if any youth participants were also involved in your projects. Volunteer Month and Rotary District 5000 is trying to compile a little bit of metrics on our April impact from this past year as the volunteer month organizers, Kanu Hawaii is looking to really leverage the last project they did in April to promote the Pledge for the Keiki, which is kind of ongoing over the next few years with the Department of Education. For those of you that are not as familiar, the Pledge to our Keiki is kind of similarly modeled after the Palau Pledge, but basically something that we're looking at residents and tourists and visitors alike who come here to Hawaii to pledge to support and support the the growth and the education and the training of our keiki here. And so this is a DOE partnered program with Kanu Hawaii, and will be within each of the schools at some point over the next 5 years. They have a memorandum of understanding to kind of roll this out, but there is both kind of a program and a curriculum tied to this that will teach the students a little bit about volunteerism and community service in the schools. And so I am hoping to use some of this effort through a partnership with Kanu Hawaii to help reinvigorate our Interact clubs that we do have that are active, or even look to start new Interact clubs. So again, if you did something in April, please report back to me what you did, how many people, hours, and if youth were involved. Dick, go ahead.
Just a comment, just from our perspective from our club. My youth committee is not comfortable with Kanu Hawaii.
Okay.
They are not, okay? And let me tell you, 3 years ago, you changed the direction of my club. So fine, 2 years, okay, I'll be a third-year president. I got new president after that, but we went after youth and schools. There are 23 schools in Pro City. We have every school right now in a Pro City complex. We get 65% of schools in the IA complex. So we're up to 19 schools we deal with. Last year we gave out 646 pictures. This year we're going to give out 750 plus. Probably add another 1 or 2 Interact clubs. Just to show you the extent of how far we're going. We want total domination of both IA and Pro City. But again, we do a lot with the kids, but my committee is just not sold on just FYI.
Let's talk offline, because I'm not sure if there's a specific reason that they're not sold on Kanu. I mean, I have my own opinions on Kanu, but maybe we can talk offline, Dick, about what specifically your committee's reservation is with the organization.
Okay.
Yep. I think they have in many ways open the door for us in Rotary to meet important people at the Department of Education. So I do appreciate that. I think what is coming up here with Pledge to our Keiki is I recognize that the two organizations, Rotary and Kanu Hawaii, may have different kind of missions and values and things like that. But
let me tell you something. One of our members was asked to be on a selection committee to select 2 different principals that are Pro City complex. He was one of the 3 person, and they selected new principals for 2 schools. That's how involved we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Besides being a leadership academy and culinary schools up at the high school. So FYI, that's how deep we are into the school.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate it. Let's talk offline. So for the if for all the others, can we please just do a report back to me? Kanu let me know a while back that they are looking for student ambassadors for this Pledge to their Keiki program. I'm not really sure what that means yet, but if you have an Interact club that you feel like there's a specific person that may be a good voice for both the Pledge as well as your Interact clubs, and may be able to speak to Interact Rotary, as well as being asked to speak a little bit about what this Pledge to the Keiki is. I would be happy to pass those names along. I think it does give us a little bit of exposure as Rotary, right? Good exposure as Rotary looks to increase its kind of reach and market here. Maybe not all. Are definitely not all as integrated as Dick is with the Pearl City and IA complexes, but I think we can help to, or we can use some of these other opportunities to become more involved with our other school areas. So let me know if you know of any students that might fit the bill to be an ambassador for both Interact as well as Pledge to Our Caking. All right. Any questions on that? I'm going to move into HRYF. And I always go back to Naomi because she's the all-knowing person. But each club should have received an email from either Tina Yap or Steve Dyer about HRYF for this year. Did your clubs receive that email? No. Yes, I see some nods. I see some shakings of heads. So
Wasn't it Faith that you personally?
it was from the HRF office, but Steve signed it at the bottom. So I apologize if there was any confusion. Yeah, it wasn't labeled from Steve Dyer specifically.
Yeah, from Faith.
Yeah.
So Tina would have sent it to the presidents, yeah.
Okay, so Tina sent it to your presidents. And that's what I wanted to clarify was who did that, because I know Naomi knows which person in your club got that email. So it should have went to the presidents. And so check with your presidents. But what it contained, there were two things. It contained a club invoice for your dues, which are due on August 31st of this month, right? So in 2 weeks. Your $200 dues to participate in HRYF this year are due on August 31st in 2 weeks. There was an invoice form that you can fill out. It was blank. You can put your club's name in there, etc., attach the check and send that into the office. That basically allows you to participate. It looks like this. Here, there you go. I knew I pulled some of these up here. So please make sure you get that in so you're eligible to give that. Well, theoretically, you're eligible to give that $2,000 or $2,500 scholarship. In order to do the $5,000 scholarship, you would have had to donate your per capita contribution of $20 per person before last June, before this past June. So if you didn't make it from last June, you're already too late. You have until this June to be eligible for 2025's HRIF $5,000 scholarship. So I know there's a lot of dates and it's really confusing, but we're already on the 2024 scholarship round, right? 2023 is passed. It was in February this year. We are on the 2024 round. You need to give the $200 dues for 2024 by this August, and then you need to have given that $20 per capita by this last June. For this upcoming 2025 year, you need to give your $20 per capita donation by June 30th, 2024. So please be aware of that. Tina did send out her understanding of your total membership numbers to each president. So you have an idea of what that $20 per person means for your club. So I think Honolulu Sunrise, she counted 41 members. And so we owe 41 times 20. I don't know how she got those numbers. She did say if the number is incorrect, please let her know. But she did at least offer you a starting point there. Naomi, it seems like you want to say something.
It's supposed to be the count as of July 1st from Rotary. That's the official number.
Right. So she gets that numbers from the district for each club, right? Or does she have access to that specifically? Anyway, she's supposed to be taking that from some reputable district or Rotary International source and sending that out to you. If it's different than your July 31st number, please let her know. I don't think they're being super down to the T here, but just, I think it's all, is it the truth? So contribute how much, $20 per person for as many members as you have. Any questions on that? The contributions itself. Okay, there was something else as part of HRF I want everyone to make sure they have, and that is the agreement invoice here. So in addition to the invoice for the actual money. Here is where you fill out the important information of what your information and donation coordinator is going to be, who your club scholarship chair is going to be, and who your club's judges is going to be for your area selection. This is super important, right? Because these are the people that are going to get the applications when they're first available. And they're going to be the ones that are going to ask to share the applications with as many people as they can. Obviously, HRYF has a network already of people they share it with, but this is where this person is going to know when the application is available, when some of the trainings on the process are going to be held by HRYF. And it's also going to be the ones to receive the applications from your area. This person's information is who is listed in the scholarship application, where people will either mail or email their applications to. So if you put someone who's not going to be here, you may never know you received 5 applications from people that are interested in applying for the scholarship, and when we missed that boat. So please make sure that these are filled out as well and sent in as soon as possible, because this is what they need to complete the application. And I'll tell you, last year there was a little bit of a struggle. They issued the application and then they had to revise it because they changed some contact information on this list. And what happened was applications were, because they had already been released, were going to 2 different people per club in some instances. So we don't want that to occur again. All right, any questions on this form? Everyone has gotten this form as well, I hope. Good. All right, and I know there was a letter from Steve Dyer here. This kind of explains it all. I'm not going to go into the details, but the last thing I want to just mention is that September is Give Aloha Month for Foodland. Our obviously the benefactors of our Sully Sullivan scholarship here from HRYF. Please go and promote that Give Aloha to your clubs. I believe Steve also sent that information out, or maybe the office did, to each of the clubs about Give Aloha. And your club's individual donations count towards your per capita giving. So if you put your name and your club on the receipt, you send that into the HRYF office, that will be added to your running total, so you can get to that $20 per capita without necessarily writing a single check from your club. So it behooves all of our youth service chairs, or whoever is going to be doing the HRYF coordination at each of your clubs, is to keep track of who's donating to HRYF through Give Aloha individually. So you know that, perhaps your club only needs to cut a check for $10 per person because someone, generously donated $500 or something like that. So please just be aware that you can give in those 2 ways. If you give through Give Aloha, Foodland does match a portion of your donation. So that's always the great thing about doing it through Give Aloha. So month of September, keep the receipts, send them into the office, and keep tally for your clubs. Any questions on Give Aloha? No? All right, great. All right. Ryla, obviously I don't have any updates from Maui, but if Rick, do you want to give an update on Oahu? I know registrations are live, but I'll let you make the full announcement there.
Okay, I'll be brief. So yeah, it's live for volunteers and for the students as of I guess Sunday is when we went live. So if anybody wants to volunteer, you can just go in and do that. Ryan, you're going to send the link out to the presidents. So I'll have Ryan send all that out to everybody. Yeah. So I mentioned this before. So volunteers are $175, and for the students it's $250. Because students get more, like graduation certificate and whatnot. Ryla is actually, so all islands, so I don't know if things will change for Maui, but all islands were, Maui, Big Island, and Oahu were all scheduled for February 16th through the 18th. And I'm sure you'll talk about Junior Ryla, which is October 11th. So that's coming up as well, even sooner. So we're starting registration. This is the earliest that we've actually started. and this is, I want to head off what happened last year. Going into Christmas, we had 7 kids signed up. Don't want that this year. And what I wanted, I'm just going to say it again here, and I'll be a broken record on this. It's up to you guys to kind of promote with your Interact folks signing up and setting up the sponsorship. What I had to do last year is I had to go after everybody to get students, and then Naomi and I were coming after you guys, your clubs, to pay for them. We don't want to do it that way. So everything is all spelled out pretty well in my email. So students are $250 this year. That's back to what it was before COVID. And for any Rotary or Rotaract person that's volunteering, it's $175. And I'm going to vet my budget with our club to cover a little bit extra, like we always try to do. And I know that Eva Beach had a fundraiser. I heard that Naomi, I heard you were there. I had COVID, so I couldn't make it, and I had to cancel a whole day out at Camp Erdman to run through the course. We're gonna make that up, the course. It sounds like the fundraiser was a blast, Naomi. I mean, so they made some good money, and so they're definitely doing some creative stuff to raise their money. I rescheduled, so we're being at Camp Erdman is where we're going to be next year. That'll be the first time I've done Camp Erdman. Our club has donated and put a lot of hours into fixing up Camp Erdman, so we're going to go back. Don Anderson and Ananda have been on me for like several years. Why aren't you at Camp Erdman? So we're going back to Camp Erdman, and we will do a trial run on October 12th, I believe is the date that we rescheduled it. It was supposed to be when I got COVID, so we canceled it. I had like 25 people that were going to come. Whether you're volunteering or not, you're welcome to join us. It's free. It's really a time to kind of just see what the course is, what it looks like, what Ryla's going to be, and also to kind of input how we're going to turn the whole outside, it's a whole marathon of stuff. So it's rope course, it's archery, it's swimming with basketball. That morning we're going to start. Sustainable Coastlines is already committed to helping clean the beach that morning. It'll be the first thing we do. The whole series of things, the scavenger hunt that goes back to a cave that Nicole's going to help, and her Rotaract folks are going to help kind of set up some stuff around all of that. Really exciting kind of stuff. Friday, we can actually come earlier than we were able to do at the Camp Homolani. So we'll start earlier. So a lot of the didactic stuff and Ohana's connecting will all happen on Friday. Saturday, like I say, will be all kind of outdoors. Sunday, there's a whole exciting thing. Whoever the top score getters are going to be able to do the Odyssey course, which is like a 2.5, 3.5 hour high ropes course, kind of very special event. And then the folks that aren't doing that, the rest of them will do a whole marathon thing that, again, Rotaract will help us kind of set up, because Rotaract is so creative with these things. So it's going to be a real exciting time. We have Kent Riker from our club. His nephew, Alex, I can't remember his last name, is a professional singer, and Alex is actually committed to coming to our graduation. And so we're going to have a whole performance, might have the taiko drums also. There's all kinds of exciting stuff that's kind of happening. I'm getting a lot of asks from very important people. I mean, really incredibly impressive people that want to speak. And so we're shaping it all pretty fast and doing it much earlier than we have in the past. So I'm just saying all of that because I'm just saying this Rotaract is going to be so incredibly special because it's going to be different than what we've done before. And they've all been great. But this is going to be an in-person, kind of very experiential, high energy experience. So we're looking for 50 kids, and we'll probably have around 20 volunteers again. We might maybe need a little bit more because of the outdoor stuff that we're kind of doing. So I'm not going to limit how many we get. And I'm not going to limit the kids either. We can go over 50 as well. There's plenty of room. We're going to be in Rotary Village. And what we're going to do is run the registration. We're going to start now, like we have. February 1st will be the cutoff, but that's only the cutoff for the number. That number that I turn in, that's the number that we're paying for to a YMCA Camp Erdman. What happens every year is last second people cancel. So we're going to continue to run and have a wait list so that then if it's 55 kids that we end up with, by the time we get there, we're going to have 55 kids one way or another. It worked out last year that way. So that's what we're going to do this year again. That's it. That's what I got. If you have questions. Oh, we also, if you want, if your clubs want or your Interacts want someone to come out and talk about Ryla, we've got that all put together. Nicole is helping with the presentation, and we got a young man that's very energetic from MidPac. I don't know if you know him, Ryan, but Jonah is quite energetic and loves to speak. So we've got 3 levels of speakers. I do the the RILA piece of it, and then Nicole does the Rotaract piece, and then Jonah does the Interact piece. And so we got a nice little presentation, and we can tailor it to whatever amount of time a club wants, or an Interact wants, or any kid group wants. So we're going to be doing September 12th. We'll be at the my club, Rotary Club of Honolulu. That's at the Outrigger Canoe Club. That's at noon. That's the lunch. It's a $45 lunch. But if you wanted to join us, you're certainly welcome to. We have plenty of space, and you can come and hear it there as well. It's a hybrid also, so you could zoom in, save you $45. So that's what we have so far. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thanks, Rick. Great to hear. I'll just remind everyone, there's a cost obviously to attending these camps, so we need sponsorships for the kids. $250 a person. I know it sounds high, but just because that was a little bit less during COVID, before COVID, it was really kind of around that amount anyway. But it basically pays for kind of all expenses for an entire weekend camp at Camp Erdman. So, I know Rick also mentioned that there's a volunteer cost here. I know the goal is not to have the volunteers pay, but at the same time, they have there's a cost there for food, etc., the lodging, all that other stuff. So if your clubs can find it, wherever they can, sponsor both students and volunteers, that's really what Rick needs, as well as getting the students to sign up without kind of that mad dash at the very end of last year that we had. I will send out the link to the registration. Rick, let's talk after this meeting for a moment there on the flyer. I do have one suggested change there on the flyer that would like to see, and then we'll definitely add that to the registration email. But there'll be a flyer that everyone can share that has an easy link over to the registration page, and we'll also send over the link to the registration page itself. So thanks for the update there. I saw Ted updated on Kauai's RILA here, looking for something in the month of October. I know they were hoping to do something as with every other RILA last year in the month of February, March, but wasn't able to get there. So I know they're looking forward to doing that sometime here in October. And I am glad to see that happening, because I know it's been a while for Kauai RILA. Hawaii RILA, I don't have an update, but I know they're looking at the same date. I think there was a question to the dates. And so, Rick, do you have that off the top of your head?
What was that?
It's
Which one?
The date for the RILA. I think it's the 16th to the 18th. Is that right?
Yeah, February 16th to the 18th, Friday through Sunday. On Oahu, we're going to have a bus that picks kids up that want to. 3 stops. So it'll be at McKinley, Mauna Loa, and Kapolei will be the 3.
Yep, thanks. And so Hawaii Island obviously had that date also reserved. I don't have all the full details of the planning there on the Hawaii RILA and when the registrations will go out and all that stuff for that, but it is in the works. Maui obviously was going to be on the same date, but obviously right now, I think we'll just have to see what happens for our Maui RILA. Thank you. I think that's the RILA update. I'm going to jump into junior RILA. That it says change in date, although I think I mentioned the change in date last meeting. The junior RILA is our virtual leadership program, training program for our middle school students, of which, through this process over the last, I think this is the 4th annual, so the last 3 years, we've had quite a few new Interact clubs started in the middle schools. It's a great way to engage with middle school students and getting them introduced to community service and leadership, and then potentially involving them in Interact in the future. So junior RILA coming up October 11th. They also need sponsorships. The ask, as has been in the past, is the $100 per club, just to support as many. That amount will support as many virtual attendees to junior RILA as possible, because they are on Zoom. They do have a facilitator though. They have a program facilitator that they actually do hire, because it is, you know, it is a little unique for middle schoolers to be going through this curriculum. There is an actual program that is tailored to that age and to leadership training activities. And so that's really the bulk of the funds goes to the getting the facilitator and having them customize the materials for Junior RILA here. But some of it also goes to the Zoom costs and other administrative things that need to happen. So they are looking for that. I did send out a email, I believe, a couple of weeks ago on Junior RILA. I'll resend that over tonight or tomorrow. And please just one, find people to sign up, and two, please support them where you can for Junior RILA. With that, I am going to skip E for now because I think there's some other good, interesting questions I might have here for this group. But I'm going to jump into the upcoming events. So for Hawaii, for Oahu, there is an opportunity to get a Rotary booth. I believe this opportunity is still open, hopefully, Naomi, to have a Rotary booth at Hawaii Children and Youth Day. So for those on Oahu, I mean, it's kind of billed statewide, but obviously the event is held at the state capitol grounds. Many of you probably remember Hawaii Children and Youth Day. Rotary always supported this event by volunteering for the information booths. We actually staffed the overall programs and events information booths just to help people, anyone with information about anything about the event. We've been asked this year by the event coordinator and longtime Rotary supporter, Susie Chun Oakland, if Rotary actually wanted to have a booth this year. The booth would, actually be Rotary focused and would have a little bit of information about all of our Rotary youth programs. And, ideally would be fun, have some games, things to hand out, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot to commit to for one club. I think if a hui of clubs wanted to do it, definitely think it could be done. In many of our past ones, efforts to support Children and Youth Day, individual clubs would pick up the information booths, but if those same clubs now wanted to, in fact, staff and man a Rotary program booth as part of the actual event, that is definitely a possibility this year. It's on October 1st, so we don't have a lot of time. That's the problem. We have basically about a month here to really kind of sign up and get everything together. So do you think that there'd be an interest amongst any of the Oahu clubs to hui together and staff an actual Rotary Interact Club booth at Hawaii Children and Youth Day? My ask would be that, and I'm doing this on a couple of other things, but my ask would only be that, if you do attend and want to do the booth, you not only represent your club and your Interact Club, but you represent the district in all things. So that would just be my ask. If anybody's interested, please let me know. Do you think anyone on the call might be interested in that?
I could probably help out. I don't want to be totally holding the whole bag though.
That's kind of where I am right now too.
So if others want to help out, I have that day open. So I know Susie well. I do a lot of stuff at the Capitol, so I'd be happy to, if others want to join in.
Yeah, West Honolulu usually participates as well as Metro, and I believe Kathleen Miriam is helping to coordinate this too.
Okay,
great.
so she's also working on it right now. So have we actually signed up for the booth?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought we were still debating whether we were going to sign up for the booth or not. So
We should commit to.
Well-
I think we can get volunteers.
okay, so I think we can commit to it. We just have to come up with some information. Rick, I'll put your name down as interested. I'll put my name down as interested. If anybody else wants to help out, the goal would be to do something that obviously is interesting and entertaining to the students and to the kids. For those of you that have been to this event, it serves children of all ages, so anywhere from newborn basically all the way to our high schoolers. So
Do you want any Rotaract youth helping out, or
Yeah, I think we probably would at some point here. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it again. I'm trying to not take too much on here because I know I won't have the time to fully plan it. But I think it's open to any and all folks that are interested, as long as we kind of, again, speak for the district. Um, I think Mark, Miriam, and my club's president Jerry Denton have been in communication. My club is actually going to be participating at the in the November Schools of the Future conference. It's being put on by the Hawaii Independent Schools Association, HISA. And so I'll be representing District 5000 at that event with Mark's support. And so it's good. I mean, I think it's great to always be out there promoting not just your club and your Interact club, but all of District 5000's work in youth services and all of our Interact clubs. So I'll let you know. I'll know when more details are coming for the Schools of the Future conference, but we will have a booth there, and I'll be there talking about D5000 youth services. So it'll be fun. There'll be a lot of people represented from the DOE at that conference. And I think we can do something similar here for Hawaii Children and Youth Day. We just need some folks to volunteer and be a part of both planning and manning these booths over for the event on October 1st. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with Naomi and Kathleen to commit, because Kathleen, obviously, with her work, is also very involved in this operation. And then we'll work to find some volunteers and maybe some folks to help program manage this booth up to its date. So be on the lookout for that coming out as well. I'm gonna quickly go into just one plug for me. I'm still looking for folks to jump in and help shadow me as a potential successor for the youth district youth service chair. I will always be involved in youth services, obviously, and will continue to be involved in this committee. I just am looking for a co-chair and eventually someone to take over at some point for me next year. Not that I'm going to disappear or anything. So for anyone interested and may be concerned about not having support, I will be here definitely to support, as I will always be involved in youth services. But for all of you that know me, obviously, over the last several years, I've got two young boys that are getting to school. I am taking over an engineering department over at Group 70 in the full leadership and management of it. And so there's just a lot on my plate in the next few years. I definitely will be stepping in to help as whenever I can, and hope to be back in any type of leadership position that any future district governor may want me to serve in. But over the next few years, I'll definitely have to take a step back here. So please consider. You don't have to volunteer in front of everyone's smiling faces today, but email me if you're interested on the side, and I'll be happy to reach out to you and let you know what might be involved there. And with that, I'm going to use the last few minutes of the meeting, and I didn't have a chance to really think about this that much. It was more of just something tugging at my heart, and obviously probably many of yours. Mark, I know did send out an email about how to support the Maui kind of relief here, just through donations and other things of supplies and monetary donations to the District 5000 webpage. But I'm wondering if folks here feel they're called to do something for youth on Maui. As many of you know, the elementary school that was on Front Street basically burned down. I'm sure there's a ton of donations coming in through, and it's great to hear. But if there's something that the district is looking at, I don't know if Ted or Naomi, you know anything beyond the initial donation and relief fund that Rotary might be looking at into the near future of both volunteer projects as well as maybe boots on the ground help that might be needed. I'd be interested to know if this youth service committee group would be interested in helping any of the elementary schools or the youth affected by this tragedy on Maui. So Naomi, I don't know if you want to chime in real quick because I'm not sure really what Mark and the district leadership team has fully in store.
Yeah, I don't know what they have, but they do have a committee that is looking at what resources, what needs are. So with that district foundation money, they have a committee that would decide how it's going to be used. But I haven't heard anything specifically for children. But Arjun did say that La Pietra is willing to take 60 kids on scholarship, but they just need to find a host family. But they're 60 for La Pietra. I think that's
Oh,
pretty good.
yeah, that's great to hear, but that means they need a lot of host families. So I think there are a variety of ways we can help. I haven't even brainstormed. Like I said, I haven't put a ton of thought into this yet, even myself, but I'm sure there's ways this group could brainstorm and leverage the networks and connections that we all have to help the children specifically. I think was kind of my thought as the youth service committee. So I'm welcome to any discussion now, and welcome to thoughts on, hey, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, no, I think we're spread thin already. If we want to do something, I'm happy to try to put some thought and effort into organizing an effort to do something for the kids there. But I do want to know if there would be interest from this group as the youth service chairs representing each of your clubs. If each of your clubs want to do something specific, specifically and on your own with your clubs, that's totally fine with me too. I'm just throwing the question out to this group.
I can always help out, but I don't know what that would be.
Yeah,
So I don't know what that would be, but I'm always, I'll throw my hat in the ring. Most certainly.
All right. Appreciate that.
We can help out too with Metro.
Okay. So it sounds like a lot of interest to help. I think we need to come up with an idea of maybe and where the greatest need is, and maybe Mark's committee can add a youth aspect to maybe one of the needs. And if I can talk with Naomi and Mark about what one of those needs might be for our youth, and we can pitch that over to this group as to how we all can help. Yep.
One thought is that if the youth right now, if they have access to computers, we could do some fun things, via Zoom just to entertain, in the meantime. I don't know if they're doing that in Maui already, I mean, there are some different ways we could approach this. That's just
sure.
Initial thought, just like we did with Ryla, doesn't have to be that intense. We could do it, in a lot more fun kind of way. Just until location and, some of the logistics are worked out. Hate to see kids just sitting around looking at, all the devastation that's there. Let's get them into something that's fun for, if we can, things like that.
Sure.
Well, right now the internet is pretty spotty. So, and even cell phones spotty.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, even though they're bringing the infrastructure. But I wonder if we could, because this is beginning of school and they want to start the school because they want to get the kids back into the rhythm, right? So what if we took the Lahaina schools, elementary schools, and supplied school supplies or something, because they don't have anything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I also I do a lot of work with the DOE, and for folks of you that know, the most recent school that opened on Maui, the Kalani Hakoi School, that was a project, a G70 project, of which I should show you guys all a picture one day. The fire got, within a couple of 100 feet of even that one in Kihei. But I can pose some questions to the Maui DOE leadership team of how Rotary can step in to help the DOE there. And maybe also I'll touch base with Mark and you, Naomi, on the side and see what the district's committee is coming up with as well. But I just, I know there's, everyone is affected. The youth, it's hard to see the images of the destruction. And so anything we can do, I think, as a group to do, I'm sure each of your clubs are doing something on its own too. So I don't mean to step into any of that or in the way of any of that, but thought this group, since we all meet as a youth team, might look to help our youth on Maui. So thanks for the thoughts there and suggestions. I'll try to see if I can come up with something over the next couple of weeks. With that, any other questions for youth services? I know we talk about these things a lot, but hopefully everyone is doing your projects with your Interact clubs. School year started. I know it started only a few weeks ago, but one thing to just remember is Club Week is probably coming up at your school. So make sure your Interact clubs are well represented at Club Week, and if they need any help from you as a sponsoring Rotary Club, find ways to help them, because we want them to represent very well at their school's Club Week. So this is the time to recruit those freshmen into your Interact clubs and get them there for 4 years. So don't miss that time. So I've got. Yep.
I have two other projects that I'd love to just bounce them off of you guys here to see if the district wants to be a part of it this year. So Rotary Club of Honolulu, we do the Peacemaker videos every year, and we'd like to open that up. It's through Alelo, and it comes with prizes. And if folks in the district, I don't know if last year if Lila and folks shared it with you all, but that's something that we could include everybody in. And this year, although I haven't spent time on it just yet because I've been too busy and I went down with COVID, but we're going to bring back the 4-way test speech contest. And in the past, it's been with our club and it was very poorly attended. And I'm gonna vet a budget. I'm actually gonna vet that anybody that gets up and even does a speech gets a $25 gift certificate and advertise it. So I think kids would come if I give them something, pay them to come. But I want to open it up to the whole district. And so my question, I know this is a small group here, would be out to you guys as to whether other people want to be involved in that. And what we do with the 4-way, I don't know if folks participated in this before, but the youth do, and I'm just going to do high school. I'm going to start small, just do high school. And folks do a speech, they get up, and we have a weekend that we have everybody come, and we end up narrowing it down to like 3 people, and then they come actually to Rotary Club of Honolulu, so they'll come to the Outrigger Club, and they'll do speeches there, and then everybody that's in the audience will vote on who's first, second, and third, and then we'll tally it up, and then we'll announce that. So we're hoping to do that again this year, but I wanted to open up to be the whole district, if you guys are interested. So let me know. So I'm going to start working on that pretty quick here.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know I think it was an essay before, but it's a speech now.
Yeah, well, we had both.
Right.
We had both.
Okay.
But we're going to bring back the speech one this year, this school year.
I definitely I definitely think that's a great idea. Each club could do their own. If there's a desire to hooey up with Honolulu Club, let me or Rick know. For folks on our other islands, obviously, just as important. Consider doing it. I think there is something to be said about doing it in person. The virtual thing has been a little overdone already, I think. So I like the idea of a speech contest. I like the idea of even an essay contest where they kind of have to come in and talk a little bit about what they wrote. That'd be kind of cool. So multiple ways to do it. But for now, Rick, let's just say if anyone's interested from, I don't know if this is going to be a district event. This will probably just be a Honolulu Club event that will invite other clubs to participate in.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Downtown has grant money for a 4-way test contest. It's an essay contest.
Essay contest, right? Yeah. So some already have. So that's why I'm not gonna probably make it like a district thing. It'll just be like, hey, Honolulu Club is doing this, and if you're interested in being a part of it, Rick is getting the program together. So sounds good. Appreciate you offering that, Rick. All right. I think then that's it. But yeah, again, just please, keep up all the good work. I know there's a ton to do with youth services, and so this is just really kind of our time to talk as a group, as for all the different district things. But I know all of your individual clubs are doing a ton each to help youth all around the state. So really appreciate your help. with that, that's it for today. We'll end a bit early, but I do if you think of anything, you think of something about the Maui thing or any joint projects or Children and Youth Day that just kind of tickles your mind of an idea that you didn't think about during the meeting today, but it would be a good idea to do for those things in the upcoming near future. Let me know because I'm happy to help kind of organize and get things together and the right people in the right rooms together. So appreciate that. All right. Thank you, everyone.
And you want to talk more, Ryan?
Yeah, Rick, just real quick for you. And then I think, Ken, you wanted something real quick too. So we'll be fast, but appreciate everyone else's time. Thanks. Naomi, did you stop the recording?